Fred Fox. I'm Terry Fox's older brother by about 15 months, and grew up here in Port Coquitlam. Our family moved from Winnipeg when Terry would have been about 8, I would have been 9. So this is where Port Coquitlam is where it all started for Terry, really. Yeah.
You know, it was an unbelievable thing, and as I say, I thought he was crazy.
Ever since I've known him, he's been a very stubborn type of person, somebody who would never quit at anything.
I had a dream that one day I would try and run across Canada.
Terry had a sore knee, and Terry didn't like to go see doctors. It's probably a Fox family trait, and ignored it, thought it was a sports injury, and woke up one morning to go to university and couldn't stand up, couldn't walk to the kitchen, and Dad took Terry to the doctor, then to the hospital, and it was there that at 18 years old he was found to have a type of bone cancer, osteogenic sarcoma. And he was told in 2 or 3 days he would have to have his right leg amputated. So he was devastated, of course. Yeah, it was. So, but Terry right away, I can remember our family being together with the doctor and Terry being told this, and he obviously was devastated by it. He was an athlete. He didn't see himself ever being able to participate in sports again. And I can remember the night before the operation, sitting with Terry, just him and I in his hospital room, just having this chat, and I, as the older brother, wanting to say something positive to him, and all I could come up with was, Terry, why does this have to happen to you? All your dreams of playing basketball, going to university are coming true, and you could see right away Terry's attitude had changed within a couple of days. He decided he wasn't going to feel sorry for himself. He said, Fred, why shouldn't it happen to me?
Tell you shortly why I'm running across Canada and what happened to me. When I was 18 years old in Vancouver, BC, I had a pain develop on the right side of my knee over about a 4 or 5 month period. And one morning I woke up and I couldn't get out of bed, and that day they told me I had a malignant tumor and that I had to have my leg amputated in 4 days. Well, right from the start it was a terrible shock, but I had encouragement and support from all kinds of people. And so right from the beginning I took it as a challenge, and decided I'd try and do my best and show people what could be done on one leg. And I decided after my 1.5 years of chemotherapy that I'd try and run across Canada and raise as much money as I could for the Canadian Cancer Society and try and help out these people. Sometimes I have to run in a lot of pain and I get pretty tired, but I don't feel any pain when I get support like this. So you're fabulous, and I'd just like to thank you for that.
Terry and Rick Hansen and our younger brother Daryl, and Terry's best buddy, Doug Allward, they went up to Prince George, BC to run a race. It was a 17-mile race. The event was called, it was Labor Day long weekend, 1979. The race was called the Prince George to Boston Marathon. It wasn't a marathon length, but I think whoever won that race got a trip to Boston to be able to run the marathon there. So Terry went in as the only, Rick Hansen was there to compete in his wheelchair, but Terry was the only amputee athlete to participate. Terry started on the start line with everybody else, but he finished dead last. He was the last person to cross the finish line, but that didn't matter to Terry, because we were always brought up, Terry and myself and my brother Daryl and sister Judy, we were always taught to finish what we start and never give up, and Terry took that to heart, and he finished last, but it didn't matter. He was happy that he finished, and he came home after that race with already knowing what his plans was, and he finished that race, and he came home and told our parents that, Mom and Dad, I wasn't training to run the Vancouver Marathon in May 1980. I'm actually training to run across Canada to raise money for cancer research. Our mom, when she heard that from Terry, she said, Terry, why would you run across Canada when you can run from the BC-Alberta border, finish in Stanley Park, you can raise money that way? And Terry said, Mom, not only people in BC get cancer, people right across Canada do. I have to start in St. John.
When I'm running each day, I take one day at a time. When I'm running, I take 1 mile at a time, and I take one corner at a time. every signpost, I'm looking at it and reaching out for that signpost. Every corner I'm reaching out, and this is the type of thing I'm thinking of when I'm running. I think of home a lot. I think of running into Vancouver and running into where I'm going to finish on the ocean, and all you got to do is take another step and keep on going.
Terry was running, average almost a marathon a day, almost 26 miles, almost 42 kilometers a day, with an artificial leg, running every day. You know, he made his way again through the Maritimes and through Quebec and hit the Ontario border on Canada Day. That was so important for Terry to be in Ottawa on Canada Day. And then he made his way through southern Ontario from there. And you know, people were so supportive, but people saw that drive and that determination that he had, and we didn't know at that time, you know, that he might be doing himself some harm, physical harm.
For about 2 days, he started saying, "There's something wrong, I feel tired." And I said, you know, we thought it was the leg, maybe it wasn't snapping back right, and he was having to work hard. That's when I think he started to feel tired. Something was wrong, and he didn't know what. And the way Terry was, he wouldn't go to a doctor, so it was impossible to even suggest that to him.
He went in the van on the 20th mile. I never really talked to him because we let Terry have his privacy when he comes in the van for his drink breaks every 2 miles. And just as he started out, he said, "I don't know how many more miles I'm going to run, I'm sick." And he ran 1 more mile and came in the van, said, "I want to go see a doctor." Yesterday I was running, and I had noticed a little bit of hardness in breathing. And near the end of the day, 18 miles, I was coughing and choking and had pain in my neck and my chest. And I did 3 more miles, and I decided I had to go see a doctor. And it was discovered then that originally I had primary cancer in my knee 3.5 years ago. And that the cancer had spread, and now I've got cancer in my lungs. And we got to go home and try and do some more treatment. But all I can say is if there's any way I can get out there again and finish it, I will.
He was pretty devastated, but of course that he wasn't able to finish at that point. But when he came back home to Port Coquitlam, he had every intention of getting back out there once his health got better and finishing the run. Terry passed away in June '81, and the very first Terry Fox run took place right across Canada on September 13th, 1981. And it's never stopped. It's been continuing and growing, and we're close to 9,000 schools across the country. You know, probably close to 1,000 communities across the country host Terry Fox runs.